Renegade Immortal, Chapter 640. Grand Gift. Small Hole. Hello, welcome back to my channel, Books with AR. Zhu Liguo was startled. His eyes turned and he carefully said, "That, Senior, what is this ancient sword intent?" Zhu Yi faintly smiled and said, "Feel it, and you will know." With that, his right hand reached out and immediately grabbed Zhu Liguo. A ray of light shot out from his eyes and landed in Zhu Liguo's eyes. Zhu Liguo's body trembled, and his eyes were filled with confusion. At this moment, he could clearly feel endless information directly enter his body from the void. He had a feeling of his nascent soul leaving his body, like back when he was a nascent soul cultivator. He gradually became lost within the information. Zhu Yi released his hand, and the golden light disappeared from his eyes. He looked tired. To gift his own inheritance to someone else like this would damage his spirit body, but he didn't care. If Wang Lin could go through all the danger to save him, he himself wouldn't care about the difficulty of passing on his inheritance to help Wang Lin's sword spirit. Wang Lin, your sword spirit was born with a rebellious nature, so you have to be careful when using it in the future. But you don't have to worry about it too much. I have already left a hidden imprint inside the inheritance. If he tries to betray you, he will suffer backlash from the inheritance. Wang Lin looked at Zhu Yi. The fatigue on Zhu Yi's face made him sigh deeply. He clasped his hands and softly said, "Senior, thank you." Zhu Yi's actions were always decisive, just like how he forcibly gifted Sun Tai as a slave to Wang Lin. Zhu Yi shook his head and said, "As long as Tingter can awaken, this inheritance is useless to me. Wang Lin, I only ask one thing of you. Help me find Tingter's father." Wang Lin pondered for a long time before nodding. Zhu Yi faintly smiled, and his right hand reached out. He grabbed the celestial sword that Zhu Liguo was in. He held the sword, took a deep breath, and suddenly slapped it. This slap caused the celestial sword to release a fierce hum, and a strange gas came out of the sword before dissipating. Zhu Yi's complexion became extremely pale. His body gradually turned transparent, and it took him a long time to recover. Wang Lin exclaimed, "Senior Zhu Yi, you—" He didn't expect Zhu Yi to do this. From now on, there are only 3 Rain Celestial Swords. As for this sword, it now belongs to you. Whether it is the sword spirit before me, or the sword spirit after me, we will have no right to control this sword. After Zhu Yi finished speaking, he threw the celestial sword at Wang Lin. Wang Lin caught the sword with gratitude in his eyes. This could be considered a huge gift from Zhu Yi. There were total of 4 Rain Celestial Swords. Even if someone were to steal one, as long as Zhu Yi existed, they would merely hold temporary control over it. Once they encountered Zhu Yi, he would immediately regain control of the sword. Even if Zhu Yi no longer existed, if one day the White Woman awakens, she could create another sword spirit for the Rain Celestial Swords. The sword spirit would receive the ancient sword inheritance and would control the 4 Rain Celestial Swords. It could be said that these 4 Rain Celestial Swords will always belong to sword spirits and the White Woman, no matter how much time passes or how many reincarnations. But at this moment, everything changed. That slap was from Zhu Yi as the sword spirit and as the inheritor of the ancient sword intent. That slap shattered the imprint placed on the sword over countless years. As the sword spirit of this generation, he was like a mortal emperor. He had divided a portion of his own territory and forever gave it to Wang Lin. From now on, Even if the white woman awakens or a new sword spirit forms, they won't be able to control this sword. It's because this was a decree from this generation's sword spirit, Zhou Yi. It was comparable to a mortal emperor's royal decree. In addition to this, Zhu Yi allowed Xu Liguo to comprehend the ancient sword intent. He opened a door for Xu Liguo, a door to become a supreme sword spirit. These two amazing gifts were equal to giving Wang Lin a big chance, a chance to obtain a celestial sword that wouldn't be destroyed after countless reincarnations, like the White Woman. From now on, this celestial sword will forever belong to Wang Lin. Even Xu Liguo will merely be the first generation sword spirit for this sword. In the celestial realm, only those that obtain the rank of Celeste Lord can have this chance. Zhu Yi let out a sigh, then his body turned blurry and entered the celestial sword. I can feel the aura of the last generation Rain Celestial Sword's spirit at the bottom of the tide abyss. This is my third gift to you. Let us go. The celestial sword Zhu Yi was in flashed and charged into the depths of the abyss. Wang Lin put Xu Liguo, who was still in a daze and comprehending the inheritance, back into the celestial sword and chased after Zhu Yi. The aura of the last generation Rain Celestial Sword's spirit? Could it be wealth? Wang Lin's heart trembled. Zhu Yi was in front, and with his sword energy charging in front, all obstacles retreated. They arrived directly at the bottom of the tide abyss. This place was a huge, winding corridor with an endless pit in the bottom. It was so deep that not even divine sense could reach the bottom. Strands of faint suction power came from the giant hole. Although it was very faint, it was always there. Standing on the path next to the edge of the hole, a small amount of soil rolled off the edge and was sucked into the deep pit. Wang Lin took a deep breath and looked at the deep pit. With his cunning, he almost immediately guessed that the tide phase that occurred outside was caused by this deep pit. In Wang Lin's mind, he seemed to see the deep pit's eruption creating unimaginable suction force every 5,000 years, and then, through a mysterious channel, the suction force affects the outside world and sucks in countless things into this land. The mysteries of creation caused Wang Lin to feel his own insignificance. What kind of spell could withstand this eruption of suction force every 5,000 years? What kind of spell could reach such power? Even the All-Seer can't do this. I wonder if the person that the All-Seer said has stepped into the third step could. Wang Lin took a deep breath and began to ponder. Where did this pit lead to? Wang Lin didn't know and also wasn't able to guess. However, he knew that if he fell in, it would be impossible to get out. This deep pit is very strange. Don't look at it for too long. Zhou Yi's voice came from the celestial sword. Wang Lin withdrew his gaze, but at the moment he did so, he suddenly heard a very faint voice. Go down. This voice didn't come from the deep pit, but from Wang Lin's bag of holding. It wasn't Yao Shui.